This is Chip Roach, and okay. This is Chip Roach, and yep, I am doing a double header. Like I said, this is based on true events. This one is The Ghost and the Darkness.
Never heard of it.
Okay. This came out in 1996. This was about the Savo lions that tormented some railroad workers. Like I said, this is based on a true story. Not ghosts, just man-eating lions. In my opinion, just as scary, if not even scarier. So this does star Val Kilmer.
Who?
He was in Batman Forever. He played Batman. He was in The Saint, Top Gun. He was Iceman.
Oh, he
in,
died.
He was in Tombstone. He was Doc Holliday.
He died.
Yes. So, Bill Kilmer was a rising star. Unfortunately, throat cancer ruined his movie career and cut it short. I think it was right at his peak of his acting. Michael Douglas is also in this. He plays Charles Remington. You never heard of Michael Douglas?
I don't know.
He was in Wall Street. He was in Wall Street Where Money Never Sleeps.
Nope.
He was in Romancing the Stone.
Nope.
Jewel of the Nile.
Nope.
He was in Me, You, and Dupree.
Nope.
American President.
Nope.
I don't know if you would have seen him in anything.
Okay, well, I guess it was that.
And then this also stars the late Bernard Hill, who we just saw him in Titanic.
Who?
He was the captain.
Oh, I like him.
The late Tom Wilkinson is also in this. Tom Wilkinson. He plays. I think he was in the Harry Potter movies. He's a British actor. He was also in The Patriot. He was in Shakespeare in Love. Recognize him when I show him. He's going to be in the opening clip. He's one you want the lions to eat, but spoiler alert, it doesn't happen.
Is he a douche?
Oh, yeah. Brian McCarty is also in this. He was in Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Nope.
He was born in Scotland, so he's a Scottish actor. I didn't really hear of a lot that he was in. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2024 as well. So, and then you have, I'm trying to pronounce his name, he plays Samuel. He actually plays a really good part in this. I think it's John Connie, I think his name is. Yes. John Connie. I've never seen him in anything else. Oh yeah, he was in the Black Panther movie, but I haven't seen that.
Me neither.
So, the story of this is Colonel John Patterson, played by Val Kilmer. He is going to Africa, which has been his dream. Why, I don't know. Maybe he wants to get malaria. But he wants to it's his dream to go to Africa, and he builds bridges. He is an engineer, and he's quite good at it. He's been to India, and he's had experience hunting tigers. So he is also a hunter, as well as building bridges.
What year did this movie come out?
This came out in 1996. So this did come out with Twister.
Oh, I like that movie. I want to watch that. Can we watch that instead?
This is just as good as Twister. Maybe. I haven't done the review yet. But it is quite entertaining. So moving on. So John Patterson goes to Savo, which is kind of a cursed place in some ways. Samuel does say that it is a place of slaughter, and nothing really works out there. So the first night that he gets there, Bernard Hill, who is the doctor, Dr. Hawthorne, he says that there's a man-eating lion. So he does end up killing a lion with one shot the first night. And then later on, there's one of the workers he senses that there's going to be more. So it ends up that there is a new, more dangerous
Isn't there
man-eating
two
lion.
of them?
Shh. We're not supposed to get to that yet.
Oh, my bad.
But there are some surprises that comes along the way. The lion
Oh, like the
seems
two lions that come out of nowhere that I just spoiled. My bad.
The lion seems to outwit Colonel Patterson, and like I said, this is based on true events.
Lions are smarter than people.
The movie, to John Hopkins' credit, is going by Colonel Patterson's diary. It turns out that Colonel Patterson exaggerated the story a little bit.
Well, obviously.
But John Hopkins, being he didn't really direct any movies I really liked. He did Lost in Space, which was a clunker. Blown Away was a total stinker. And he did a couple others. I'd have to look them up, but they weren't any good. So this is the only movie. This is probably John Hopkins' best movie. But I will let you be the judge. So I will show the first clip of John Patterson meeting Mr. Beaumont, and I promise you, you will not like him.
All parts of this story really epic.
John Henry Patterson. I'm Robert Beaumont. Firm handshake. I like that. Tells me a lot about you. Thank you, gentlemen. Look at me closely, Colonel Patterson. I'm a monster. My only pleasure is tormenting those people who work for me. People like you, sir. Make one mistake and I promise you, I'll make you hate me. We're in a race, Colonel, and the prize is nothing.
So this is Robert Beaumont. This is Colonel Patterson meeting him, and Samuel is actually narrating it at the beginning. So, yep, Robert Beaumont, not exactly the most happiest person in the world. He also doesn't care about Colonel Patterson's kid being born either. So you tend to dislike him the more the movie goes on, even though you only see him maybe 3 times in this movie, I believe. So now I will show the next clip of him going to Africa. We get to see some of the African wildlife. And I believe Rosie O'Donnell does make an appearance.
And a giraffe. It's going to be exact. What are those?
Wildebeest.
What are the? Oh, that's a giraffe.
They're amazing, aren't they? You know the most amazing thing about them? They sleep only 5 minutes a day.
Hey, like,
Everything's so... I've lived in Africa for years and I don't know what you know. How long have you been here? Just about 24 hours.
well, Val Kilmer here is getting the tour, and I did not really get Rosie O'Donnell, but I did get Amy Schumer yawning in the water. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to get Amy Schumer in our video. But Val Kilmer is he plays a very likable character. How he was behind the scenes, though, is what I would really like to know. Because he has been known to, let's just say, clash heads with mediocre directors. And this Hopkins guy, I think is almost the same as Schumacher. So I can see him not getting along with the other actors or directors or producers for that matter. But I don't know that for sure. Maybe he behaved himself during the filming of this movie. But nonetheless, he does play a very, very good part in this. And we are going to meet the Dr. Samuel, and this is where the doctor gives him the news about a man-eater. And we will show that clip next.
You seem to have brought bad luck with you. Come here. This is Karim, one of my orderlies. He was attacked by a man-eater earlier today.
A man-eater attacks, and you're such a buffoon, you almost forget to
His
mention it.
injuries are only slight. They're riding his donkey not far from here. And suddenly
So this is the doctor here trying to spring the early news onto the wonderful colonel here, giving him an extra assignment. But right off the bat, he's struck with extra duties. So we will see how his night goes with now having to hunt a lion and get that under his belt, along with being in charge of this bridge. So we will find out what happens in just a second. I just gotta hit the lights.
We're gonna hit the lion.
So this is actually very, very skillful. He just used one shot and killed the lion. And Angus, of course, fell out of the tree, and it's a good thing that he did get him with one shot. Or else Angus would have been, well,
Lion dinner.
Angus would have been an Angus meal, yes. Yes, he would have been dinner. So that was, so I found out in this movie that they used one mechanical lion, and I guess they actually had 5 real lions actually in this movie. So I actually found that pretty cool too, that these weren't just some fake computer graphic lions. So I will show the next clip we get to meet is, so we're going to meet the, let's just say one of the leaders of the group. This is Mahina, and he actually has a premonition of, he senses that there's more lions coming, but we will find out in just a second. Let's see. So let's find out.
Of course, the hardest part about building a bridge is the foundation tiers. For that task, I'm giving you 4 thrilling weeks.
Aren't we full of ourselves today? I think it's because of the lion. John,
You know, I also have killed a lion.
how many shots did you need?
I use my hands.
Oh,
I don't see nothing.
Well, so John Patterson's given them 4 weeks to work on the foundation. So it all seems well and good. But it seems like Mahina may have sensed that there is a presence of a lion in that brush there. Now, this is Savo, so I believe it's right by the Kenya area. So what I'm hoping to do at the end of this video, if I can do it, is I'm actually going to show you what the real lions did look like. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm actually going to do my best to show you those lions. It would just be a still picture. I think I can find it on YouTube, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to now show you what happens at nighttime to one of the workers. Let's see if the lion does show up. Well, Mahina is not killing this lion with his bare hands. The lion seems to be having a nice marinated Mahina for a late night snack.
You're disgusted.
So he just happened to pick out the strongest member of the group, pretty much. So this was definitely done by design here. That's what these guys. This is what the Lions did. Was they picked out the leader first, because then the other ones will be very, very easy to get to later. So now I'm going to show a clip of Samuel. You will actually like his character a lot, he is definitely one of my favorite characters in this movie, even though I know there's not many. So I will show him right about now.
Very much.
I don't like any of mine.
Me neither.
Oh. Well, this is Samuel. I believe he said he has 4 wives. So when he asks Colonel Patterson, does he like his wife? And then he responds, I don't like any of mine. I'm guessing his may have also been arranged as well. So he may not have been able to actually pick who he married. So imagine having 4 wives. That's 4 times getting nagged. Imagine that. Samuel, do this. Samuel, do that. Samuel.
And who does that?
I'm just saying that's just the way that could be why he doesn't like any of his wives.
Is that why I don't like your ex-wife?
No, I'm not gonna get into that. That'll be about a 2-hour video. So now I will show the lion's next victims coming right up. Because I don't know who watches.
So?
Darling, the big excitement yesterday was when some school children spotted a whale. They were looking at me, John. That was in a I'm quite sure he's telling me he definitely wants to come to Africa. Thought you might need reminding.
Well, this was a surprise because man-eating lions mostly attack at night, so they pretty much think they're safe during the day. Not only do they attack during the day, but now there's 2. So now this makes it incredibly different and weird. So it had 1 snack, as you saw from the
Very disgusted.
that the one had. Don't worry, it's only ketchup. And then the other one sadly did kill Angus Starling. So Angus is now no longer in this movie. So, but there's good news. Robert Beaumont is back for the next clip. So we will see that in just a second.
Welcome to Savo. Pleasant journey? How could it be? I hate Africa. Lovely star, and they seem happy. Don't they go? So, work's going well. What of my request for soldiers? Tell me before you're on your own, there'll be no soldiers here. I promised my men protection. Where's Starling? A while back he ordered some Bibles. I brought them. Is he here? I'll show you.
So we get to see the most charming Robert Beaumont back. As you can see, he hates Africa. So that's line number one. And then he sees Angus Starling, and he's not happy about that. And then when he finds out that the lions are causing the trouble, he seems to get even more upset. But that's okay, because Colonel Patterson has a plan.
He ain't upset. He doesn't even care that they're killing people.
Oh, I know. It was sarcasm.
Well, you should probably refer to that as sarcasm then.
Okay, that's sarcasm. I didn't know I was dealing with Sheldon Cooper. The contraption that he's making in the next clip, and I will show you that right now.
I'm surrounding it with a bone up. What? A fence. Except for this small area here opposite the store. What kind of lunacy are we dealing with here? The other side of these bars will be big. You with me? I'll start things off. Out here will be a tripwire for this sliding door.
Oh, jeez. The beast will enter, tripping the wire. The door will slide down behind him, trapping him. You, meanwhile, safe behind your bars, will have the beast at your mercy and will shoot him at your leisure. Are you running a high fever, man? How could you conceive of something so idiotic?
I didn't conceive of it for the lions. It was for a tiger in India.
It were.
Well, Beaumont is just getting better and better. You really, really want the lion to just jump out and just tear him to shreds. Doesn't happen. Not even close. They do not appear when you want them to. So we will see if his contraption actually works, because Robert Beaumont has no confidence in him and he has no moral principles. So we will see if this contraption works.
How do they miss it every time? I don't understand.
Well, obviously the contraption worked, but the shooters seem to have some, they seem to not be very, very good at target practice. So, obviously this, unfortunately did not work. So I'm sure Beaumont is very, I'm sure this just gives him another strike against Mr. Patterson here. So, the next clip I'm going to show is the workers are now mad at Colonel Patterson. So, we will find out that Charles Remington is going to come to his rescue, and we'll see how that happens.
You listen while I talk, because you got a question needs answering. Will I pull this trigger? You don't know what that has happened here.
So this is Charles Remington coming to Colonel Patterson's rescue. And Charles Remington is a fictional character. He never did exist. This was made up just for the movie. So no, he is not part of this real life story at all, but it makes the movie more interesting. And one other note, there were soldiers that did go there for support. That is one more thing I would like to add. So now it looks like Colonel Patterson has a clear shot at this lion. The great Dr. Hawthorne gave him a gun that is much more powerful. So let's see what happens. One of these evil lions.
Why did you shoot him?
Well, the weapon did not work. I think it was made by Tim the Toolman Taylor. So
Who?
From Home Improvement.
Oh.
He always made things and they never worked.
Oh. Never watched it. Couldn't tell you.
That would be another lesson.
No.
So
It's too late for all that.
So now Michael Douglas or Charles Remington did fire the gun to at least scare the lion away so Colonel Patterson could live another day, I guess. But yeah, Charles Remington definitely reamed him out. He is not supposed to exchange weapons when you're going into battle. So now they found some fresh paw prints by the hospital, so they decide to empty out the people sick and move them to a different location. So we will find out if this works. This is another attempt to trap the lion. And let's see what happens after I turn off the lights.
Samuel.
So this is the final clip of the movie that I'm going to show because this is on my high recommendation list. This is a movie that you really should check out for yourself. This was a definitely must watch in my opinion. I know it doesn't get a lot of hype or real. I mean, I know there's no real huge special effects, but this is a very, very good movie to watch. And it is, like I said, you know, this did get a $55 million budget, and it only raked in $38 million at the box office. I think this did better when people were actually renting it, because we didn't see this in theaters. We rented it first, and then my parents bought it for me when I got back from summer camp. So now I will do my review. So I think the acting in this was really good. It was casted well. So I actually give this a B+ to A- rating. It was a good movie. It was an enjoyable watch. I know these lions ate people, and there was a little bit of blood and gore in it.
A little?
There wasn't as much as there really could have been. the only real thing in this movie was the violence. That's the only reason why this was rated R. And this is only an hour and 50 minutes long, so it's not exactly the longest movie. So, I will show, oh, I take that back. I will just show one little still, and I will show you the actual lions of Tsavo in just a second. Now, I'm sure you're probably asking, why are those mameless? Were they females? No, they were mameless male lions. And the reason why they did not have a mane on them is because what I read is the hotter climates of Africa, some of the male lions don't have manes because of the heat. So, but in the movie, I think they wanted to make them look scarier, and it would have confused people if they didn't have the manes on them. So, now I did say this was based on true events. Some of the numbers in this movie don't add up. They did not kill over 100 people. They maybe killed 25 to 30 at most, which is still a very high number. Now, they did this because when they looked at the lions' dental records, it looked like that they had tooth infections.
Wait, hold on. So the lions went to the dentist and got some records done here? I'm very confused.
Yes, they actually did. Well, no, when they killed them, they had people actually look at the way that the bite was. They looked at their teeth. So they found out later on that that 2 of them had tooth infections. So instead of getting buffalo or wildebeest, they went after something that was an easier prey, and human beings made the list for that. That made them, and with all those workers there, it made it more enticing for them. And plus, with all the noise, it did attract them to the human workers. Now, the inaccuracies in this movie, like I said, there were soldiers. There weren't as many people killed. And I guess they really weren't true man-eaters as well. And they were also maneless. So, those were the inaccuracies there. So, now did lions really eat people? Yeah, they did, just not as many. And again, they look like this. So, the movie itself is very, very enjoyable, but this just goes to show you that just because something is based on a true story, not everything is actually true. This is a movie made in Hollywood. It's not a documentary. People seem to get them mixed up more often than I would really like to admit. So definitely check it out and comment below and see, you get to learn something on my channel. This isn't a Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman review. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching.